Hey everyone, today we are making vegan McNuggets along with Szechuan sauce, which was made infamous by Rick and Morty, and I'd be remiss if I didn't note that this recipe for the sauce is based off of Babish's, which he formulated using an actual pack of the sauce. He said he got his to taste almost identical, and yet he also admitted that the sauce was just okay, and I agree, so I'm going to be adding a few things to make it better than okay. But first, the base of the sauce is half a cup each of soy sauce, white vinegar, water, and then some plain old sugar. And then next is 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, about 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, half a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and ground ginger. And now some Marmite, and a little tip is to spray your knife or spoon so the Marmite doesn't stick too much. And another tip is to make sure the cap is screwed on tightly. Good job there, buddy. Anyway, get that Marmite in there, and then after that we're going to do 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, a few shakes of black pepper, and now this is where I started to add some stuff in. We're going to do half a teaspoon of Szechuan peppercorns, because why not? As well as 1 tablespoon of mushroom seasoning, and then 1 teaspoon of black vinegar. Whisk that up, and now to thicken it, we'll get about a 1/4 cup of the mixture, and then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to make a quick slurry, and then we're going to add that back in. And now Babish had us use 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum, which seemed like a lot to me. And well, I don't know if I did something else, but this is what I ended up with. And it kind of reminds me, yeah, it looks like something from Rick and Morty for sure. But I did a couple of tests where I only used like a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and it still felt kind of thick after it cooled. Even if I microwaved it to loosen it up, it was still a bit gelatinous to me. So eventually I just tried a version with no xanthan gum, and for me this was perfect. If you want it thicker, I would say just add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum at a time, and keep in mind it will thicken up a lot once it's cooled. But in any case, this is our Szechuan sauce, and it's pretty dang good. It's kind of like a tangier teriyaki, really. I'm not sure, though, if it's worth riding over or trading your car for, but it's still pretty zip-zapping delicious. And if you do refrigerate it, you can always microwave it for like 20 seconds or so to get it to come to more of a room temperature. It's pretty good when it's warm as well. And now for the McNuggets, vegan McNuggets that is, we'll be using my good pal Gardine's scallopinis, but like I always say, you can totally use tofu instead like I did for my KFC nuggets. I'll leave links for that video in the description and at the end of this video as well. But for the scallopinis, we just need to let them thaw, and then we'll simply cut them into nugget-sized shapes. And I got about 4 to 5 nuggets per fillet, so 1 pack will get you 16 to 20 nuggets. And then once those nuggets are all cut and shaped, add them to the fridge to chill out. And now for our dredging station. For our dry, we'll start with a 1/4 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And a quick reminder, cornstarch likes to go everywhere, so don't tap your measuring cup like I am. Good grief, buddy. All right, next let's do half a teaspoon each of white pepper, celery salt, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and MSG. Yep. Whisk that up, and then that's our dry batter. And now for the wet, let's do 3/4 a cup of unsweetened plant milk, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of pickle brine, and then 2 tablespoons each of flour and cornstarch. And this will be our tempura style batter, which is what makes McNuggets a bit different from your typical fast food nugget. Because usually we dredge with the flour last, but these are the opposite. So we'll dredge first in the flour, and then we'll dunk them in the wet batter, making sure to coat thoroughly and shaking off the excess. And that's basically it. Now we just got to get a pot or high-walled skillet and get some neutral high smoke oil heated up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then once we do, we'll dredge our nuggets like I showed you, and then careful as careful can be, we'll drop them in the oil. And since this is a wet batter, it will get pretty chaotic at first, but don't worry, it'll calm down. And now we really just need to fry these up for a few minutes or until they are golden brown and beautiful like this. And then let them rest on a wire rack, even though I forgot to get a shot of that. Just use your imagination. And once all your nuggets are fried up, it's time to dig in. And my friends, I gotta say that while these might not be 100% exactly like McDonald's nuggets, they are close enough, and I might even say better. They are certainly crunchier. As my wife said, they were like McNuggets, but less stale. In fact, let's go ahead and check out a crunch test. And like I said, this sauce is pretty boss, but I had to try my Old Flame barbecue sauce, and sure enough, that was totally amazing and really was super nostalgic and delicious. And if you want to make these nuggets but spicy, check out my Spicy McNuggets video right here. I hope you do make them, and until then, I'll see you all next time.